My total T went from 450 to 906, and everybody wants a magic pill, but let me tell you, I found it. Yo, what's poppin', Papa? My name is Mickler, and I am a single dad on a journey to discover what it means to be a kingdom man. And today's topic of discussion is how I doubled my testosterone levels in 30 days taking a purple pill. And for those of you who are in the space of hormones, my free T increased 1.8x and my total T doubled, so 2x. So how did I do this? I took a SERM. Yes, a SERM, not a SARM. And a SERM is a Selective Estrogen Receptor Modulator. But before I break down what it is, even more so, let's talk about the other alternatives. A SARM, which is a Selective Androgen Receptor Modulator, which is a performance enhancing agent that increases anabolism, which pretty much increases your muscle, your strength, and helps with recovery. TRT, which is Testosterone Replacement Therapy, which is a synthetic testosterone that is typically injected, and it results in testicular shrinkage, infertility, and even dependence. Once you're on, it's a lifetime commitment. So a lot of older men, when they get on TRT, they find that it is actually a real game changer. But for responsible doctors, this should be the last resort for men, especially if they are younger and they still want to have babies and have a family. Pretty much if you want to keep your balls functioning. And I hate to break it to you, but your favorite influencer is probably on TRT and the SARM, because if you think about it, their livelihood is based on how they look. So why wouldn't they be taking things that would enhance that? I'm just saying, yo. I'm not a hater, I'm just saying, okay? All right, so the SERM, Selective Estrogen Receptor Modulator. How this works is it blocks estrogen from binding to the receptor in the brain, at the hypothalamus, and in the pituitary gland. So pretty much your brain is thinking, oh dang, we're not producing estrogen. I gotta do something about it. So it starts to stimulate the production of LH and FSH, which then tells your testicles, which is where testosterone comes from, the testes, to produce more of its own naturally, as well as more sperm buddies swimming in your ballsack. So you would still be considered natty, or if you want to be a boss, half natty. You're probably asking yourself, all right, Mickler, but why do I even want more testosterone? Well, for one, testosterone is what makes men men, and estrogen is what makes women women. Yes, both men and women have testosterone and estrogen, but men typically have higher testosterone and women have higher estrogen. Estrogen is literally made from testosterone. So if you think back into the garden, how was Eve created? Eve was pulled out from Adam. The woman was pulled out from the man. God did this, and for good reason, right? So as men, we should be embracing our full masculinity, and women should be embracing their full femininity. And I believe this is why it's so important for men to optimize their testosterone levels so that they can be the man that God designed them to be. So two, there's a crazy epidemic out there where men are becoming softer in mind and body, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, on all fronts. And this is a freaking problem, y'all. Like, men aren't stepping in as their role as men, and this is why women are becoming boss babes, right? Because they're the ones taking care of themselves. The man is no longer a provider, the man is no longer a protector, the woman can do it all on her own. And this is causing men to be more feminine, where they have these feminine characteristics and they're wearing these weird things, and I don't even want to go down that road, but men are no longer men, women are no longer women. Let me say that again. Men are no longer masculine men, and women are no longer feminine women. There's so many reasons for why men's testosterone is dropping 1 to 3% every single year. I'll probably cover it on a different video, but just know that you literally are not half the man your father was, and even a quarter of who your grandfather was. So I began to wonder, if you have more testosterone, what does that even mean? What's the benefits of having more T? So one is better muscle development and body composition. You know those lonjas you have, my boy? Yeah, it's probably due to the way you eat and lack of exercise, but also there could be a hormone imbalance where you have more estrogen than testosterone and you are holding onto more fat because of it. More testosterone means better attention, better memory, and better focus. As a man, we should really be about our mission, and to execute on our mission and our assignment from God, we need to be hyper focused, super diligent. And if you have low T, you may have lack of motivation, lack of discipline. Your emotions are out of whack, thinking you're depressed or sad, because now you're giving more into your feelings versus stepping into the calling that God has in your life and going after it despite how you feel. When you increase your testosterone, specifically your free testosterone, because that is more bioavailable for your body to use, you become optimal to execute on the reason why God put you on this earth in the first place. Higher T means more confidence and more assertiveness. Bro, how many times have you seen that cute girl and you're like, dang, I should really say something to her? A second goes by, 30 seconds, now a minute, and you're still in your head, and you don't take action. You don't execute on it because of lack of confidence, and you don't want to assert yourself in the situation. But when you have more testosterone, you really care less, in a sense, of what other people's opinions are, and you kind of stay true to how you're feeling in that moment and what you're thinking. And when you have more testosterone, you can become more confident and execute on that, where you would just go up to her and introduce yourself regardless of the outcome. And if you're already married guy, this can also play a big role in your workplace, in your current assignment and mission, like we just talked about, you executing on the work set before you and being confident in it at meetings, when you're speaking to a board of directors or whoever you're encountering. You can be more assertive and more confident when you have higher T levels, or better yet, optimize T levels. And more optimized testosterone levels means better emotional regulation. So for me as a single dad, my son, he would do certain things that would, irk me a little bit, upset me, especially when he doesn't listen or he's lacking respect. It gets hurtful, and for me, I would just lash out and yell at him, just yell, literally. And when I made the decision to do all I can to raise my testosterone levels, I've noticed that I am more calm, more cool, more collected in my response. And whatever he does, I don't resort to yelling right away. I take a moment to think about it and then respond accordingly, which has been an awesome change that I've seen. And my son, I know he appreciates it as well. Now I'm more calm, level-headed when I need to address certain things, provide correction or discipline. And my discipline is more stern and yet kind at the same time. So I came across this company called Maximus Tribe, and their mission and vision is to optimize 1 million men in mind and body. So their first product they came out with is called the King Protocol, where they use a doctor-prescribed SERM to naturally increase your testosterone levels 1.5 to 2.5 times, and that's pretty much their promise to their customers. So in order to prove it, you take baseline labs before you start the protocol, and then 30 days after, you take another set of labs to see where your levels are at and to show that it indeed is working. So when I started, my total T was at 450 and then 30 days later it jumped to 906. But what I learned is free T, which is your free testosterone, is the more important number, because that is actually what is more bioavailable for your body to be using. So my free T was at 95.4, and in 30 days it jumped to 172. And this pharmacology, this pharmaceutical was a force multiplier. But if I didn't address certain lifestyle changes, behaviors that I had in my life, then I do not believe that it would have this magic bullet effect that it did. So if you want to see what I changed up, then check out this video here. And peace and love to you, Papa. I want you to stay the course, because it will all be worth it, my dude. Till the next one. Peace.